Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing at the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. This one was sent in by Zer0, and oh, it is a great one. This is tense as hell. It is Chaos versus High Elves, and they've both gone with some pretty wacky builds here. Here you can see it's Sartorial and 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths. Also, a load of Chaos Warriors are great weapons, so 4 of them, a couple of Marauders, just to help fill in some gaps. They're nice and cheap, so they can take a lot of flak, which is good. 3 Chaos Marauders and a couple of Marauder Horsemasters. The Horsemaster will be great for harassing basically anything, and also chasing units off the field. Shaggoths, obviously great anti-large, really good to have a couple of them. They can goon a Star Dragon between them. They can do some great work. Also, Sartorial, the Everwatcher, is just so hard to kill. He is so hard to snipe out. He is really slippery. His combat animations basically give him infinite mass. If something is just here, he'll go into charge mode and just fly through everything and smash it, and then he can run off. So he can escape, you know, a lot of very sticky situations really well. And he has great missile and magic resistance, which will definitely come in handy here when we have a look at the enemy army. Yeah, that's right, there's 3 Sisters of Avalon. So there's a lot of magic, flaming missile damage. Ludicrous amounts. Also here you can see Illyrian Reaver Archers. Again, I think these are just to have something a bit cheaper that can deal with things like the Marauder Horsemasters, something quick that can chase people off without being too expensive, because the other cavalry, the Fireborn and these Dragon Princes, are super expensive. There's also an Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, great for just withering fire on big monsters. Is really handy. Just have that pointed at a Shaggoth in single fire mode, and you can just whittle it down over time, you know, so long as you can keep it safe. But it can do some good work. Chaos Knights as well. This is really good for countering because it can kill a few models off nice and quickly and negate a lot of the damage you may receive on the charge. So very handy to have one of those. Also some Spearmen and more Spearmen. Just a load of Spearmen. Most of the value here is in the cavalry and the Sisters of Avalon. So obviously with things like Dragon Princes, they can counter anything that might get in the back into the Sisters of Avalon, while the Spearmen just hold all the infantry at bay. Also here, Teclis obviously has the Net of Amantok, which buys a lot of time for the Sisters of Avalon to get a lot of damage in. Also, Enfeebling Foe, great if something is caught out in the back line, like a Shaggoth that might want to push through, get on top of these Sisters of Avalon, you know, anything like that, or even Sartorial, net them down and surround them with this cavalry, and you can get a lot of damage in, hit with an Enfeebling Foe. Oh, it's gonna be bad for them. It's gonna be bad for them. Also Regrowth, because he needs it to keep these expensive units safe, definitely. Also the Potion of Shiroi is great for himself. Flock of Doom is also good for whittling stuff down. So a lot of utility from both these armies, to be honest. Oh yes, Final Transmutation Searing Bolts, by the way, on Sartorial. So pretty typical, So over here you can see the Dragon Princes have been spotted, and they're taking the odd Javelin, which is nice. You know, these guys will be able to whittle down units like this, keep them busy rather well. But, I mean, look at this. All the Sisters of Avalon, some of them have wasted some shots on the Chaos Marauders, but now they're all just focusing on the Chaos Warriors. And the Chaos Warriors are taking just a ludicrous amount of punishment, because that's the thing. The Great Weapon variant, they are actually great in this matchup, because they trade really well with all the heavy cavalry, because all the heavy cavalry kind of sucks against armor, so that 100 armor keeps them going for a long time. They've got pretty good mass, and all that armor piercing adds up very quickly, you know, against these very expensive units like the Fireborn and the Dragon Princes, so they're a great pick, but they're very susceptible to just insane amounts of Sisters of Avalon fire. And here, so is this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. He's been netted, so is Sartorial. They're not going to waste the damage on Sartorial, but of course Sartorial is great for hopping in that back line and causing problems, so it's good to net them all. One Shaggoth did get out, but he has enough cav to be able to run in and plug this up, so now you can see, Enfeebling Foe, the Fireborn have got their anti-large as well, and that Dragon Ogre is going to be taking a lot of damage. Dragon Princes charge into the other way to slow down that Dragon Ogre Shaggoth further, and he is taking some damage from the Illyrian Reaver Archers, the Bolt Thrower. It's pretty rough, and you can see here, this Shaggoth has managed to escape. He has managed to get to the back line. He's not dead yet. He did survive throughout the net, which is pretty damn impressive. And now Sartorial's getting pinned by the Fireborn that will also do some great work against him. But Sartorial does have magic damage, so he can negate the physical resistance, but he doesn't have the best armor piercing. So the Fireborn will still be able to shrug off a lot of the damage. So here, Dragon Prince is already quite injured. In fact, quite injured from all of the javelins. So Spearmen are trying to keep everything at bay, and they will do that quite well. But they are no match for the Chaos Warriors. The Chaos Warriors have too much armor, so the Spearmen aren't really going to be able to do any damage in return. You know, they just won't be able to get the kills in. So the Chaos Warriors will win this, but it's keeping them busy for a long time, because the Chaos Warriors need to get over that huge melee defense. So that is a nice roadblock. Here you can see one Shaggoth has broken, and here you can see Illyrian Reapers were trying to chase him off, but These Chaos Marauders and Chaos Warriors got in the way, but these Dragon Princes are free to charge into him, but it looks like they have other plans. They're going to try and come in here and help this back line. A regrowth on the Fireborn, keeping their health up, and a nice Searing Doom, and Sarthoriel is just charging through these Sisters of Avalon. It's stopping them firing at the very least for the moment, and it lets the Shaggoth do some work. So it looks like the Shaggoth's actually going to run in here and try and make sure the Illyrian Reaver Archers aren't going to get up to no good. It's good to get rid of them early because they're great for chasing off fleeing units, and you don't want that to happen. Here, this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth has come back, but no one has noticed yet. Zer0 hasn't noticed, so he's not being brought back into the fray, which is a real problem. Over here, I mean, this was just textbook. This is just classic Sarthoriel. He jumped into one unit, the Fireball were pushing in, so he targets the next unit along, and with that crazy charge of his, where he has seemingly infinite mass, he can just charge straight out of that problem situation, and he's out again. Then he's safe. Suddenly these Fireborn have to turn around to try and save someone else, and it means that Sarthoriel can start jumping in again with that crazy charge, get a huge hit on these Sisters of Avalon. He has 66 kills already, which is really nice. Oh, he did use a final transmutation earlier, by the way, on Teclis, but he's managed to heal himself back up. Potion Shroy or Regrowth, I'm not sure which, probably the Potion Shroy. Because, yeah, he did use a lot of Winds of Magic early, so he could probably spare the 30 seconds, you know, and just heal himself up. So anyway, Fireborn and Dragon Princes both suffering quite a bit of damage, but the main thing is, these Chaos Warriors are all fine. They are all fine. All the Sisters of Avalon, they've had way bigger priorities. You know, the things that are going to be able to get on top of them quickly. Things like the Shaggoths. They've needed to deal with them. They haven't had time just to shoot into all the Chaos Warriors. Here, Standard Die has been used to put up leadership and melee defense. And, yeah, firing complication. Bit of a whiff, bit of a whiff. I mean, that's it, though. That's what it does. It really says where it's going to be, and against a load of armored targets, it's not really going to do the damage. But the Fireborn are trying to push in to try and help these units out. Shaggoth is going to keep charging in, and all this armor piercing from the Chaos Warrior is going to do very well. The Fireborn have to charge back into the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth to keep them off the Sisters of Avalon, but that means they're just going to get attacked in the back as they run. But it does like this Shaggoth is in a lot of trouble all of a sudden. Ooh, yep, Sisters of Avalon managing to deal with it. Now Sarthoriel is charging in to try and deal with these sisters. Hopefully that Shaggoth might return, but with only 80 health, it's a bit late for it. The other Shaggoth, hang on. Did the other one die already? Maybe. I completely lost track of the other one. I think that was the fresh one that came in. I think the other one got shut down too. That's a real problem. That's a real problem. That's just Sarthoriel, and I say it's just Sarthoriel and a ton of Chaos Warriors. Like, that's a real problem. But these Chaos Warriors are going to be so hard to kill. Here you can see Chaos Marauders just being thrown at the Dragon Prince to slow him down, while all these guys can regroup and push in. Here you can see the Fireborn did break, and right next to the border, it's almost a sure thing they're going to go away. But only almost. Only almost. They're back. They're back. They didn't run. They didn't get chased out, which is unbelievable. So close to the edge. That was seriously lucky. Those Fireborn are super useful, especially with Sarthoriel being this injured. That is devastating for Chaos, for the Fireborn not to run out. A regrowth on them and they could still be very useful. And here, these Dragon Princes, they're still on 33 models, which is still very, very good. Here, Chaos Warriors are pushing in. In the trees here, they should have some cover, which is nice, but a lot of archer fire coming in from the Sisters of Avalon, who can whittle them down very well, but a lot of the cavalry is going to be taking the hits. Of course, the Fireborn Dragon Princes do have 70% fire resistance, which means that the friendly fire isn't necessarily going to hurt them a huge amount, but they are still blocking shots that could be hitting the Chaos Warriors, and that is a problem. So over here, these Chaos Warriors are pulling out. I don't think they should. I don't think they should at all. They should be staying back here. Stick together with these units. You don't want to keep feeding them one unit at a time and let them get cycle charged. You don't want that. Keep them together and just deal with these Sisters of Avalon first. There's no reason to bail out this one unit if it means shutting down a very irritating unit over here and keeping your units together. Over here you can see Marauders and the Marauder Horsemasters managed to get into this Equal Bolt Thrower that just got back online. But the Dragon Princes are coming in with a regrowth to come in and shut this stuff down. But Equal Bolt Thrower hang on by a thread right now. Hang on by a thread. Chaos Marauders somehow stay in the fight, and they've shattered the Bolt Thrower. That Bolt Thrower could have been really useful. So that is great for Chaos, just to use these two very injured units just to finish off that one potentially very powerful unit. So very nice. So the Dragon Princes, though, so much health. So much health on these guys. Still 31 models. That is frightening. And over here, you can see Sisters of Avalon have finally got shut down. Really stubborn unit. Really stubborn, and quite fast actually, quite fast, but they're off. they're off, and it means that units can regroup now. Chaos Warriors trying to pull out to get to the rest of their guys, and the High Elves been very clever just to quickly charge in, try and shut them down, try and catch them out before reinforcements start coming. But everything is starting to push forward, and that armor means they are very survivable. So although they're not all in a big cluster and, you know, all safe in a big clump backing each other up, they're still close enough that it doesn't really matter at this point. They are close enough, and they are of a single mind. You know, they're not having to run off this way to deal with Sisters of Avalon anymore. They're all focusing on the same targets. But Teclis has full health, basically. He's still got plenty of charges of Potions to Roy. He's got a lot more healing left in him. He has a lot more healing left in him. And sure, he doesn't have a lot of armor piercing, but Sarthoriel doesn't have a lot of armor. No, he does not. And Sarthoriel will be the main target. He is super, super injured, and the best way to get rid of Chaos Warriors with all this armor is just to break them. That is the best way to remove them here. So here you can see Sarthoriel has been enfeebling foed, putting his melee defense down to 13, which is not good. That is not good at all. These Dragon Prince will land some very good hits on him. You see he's under 1,000 health now, and this is one of those things which seems like the most devastating thing to have happened. That is a final transmutation upgraded, but luckily it killed that model, snapped back to this one, and when that model dies, it just stays there. It stays on the last model. And you know what? In all of my time playing this game and casting these replays, I have never seen that happen. I have never seen what happens when you use final transmutation on something that dies. Because it's always used on something healthy that needs to die, right? It's usually not the thing that actually finishes off the unit. So that was pretty unusual. It actually sticks to the ground on the last position that unit was on, which is really interesting. So it actually snapped over there, which hit Teclis for a fair bit, and then snapped back and hit the Dragon Princes, so it's weirdly beneficial. But you can see here another firing complication. Again, not great against the armor, but one unit did break, and now Sarthoriel boldly is going for Teclis, which is an insane thing to do. He has such little health, and there, massive hit. Lost almost half his health from one hit from Teclis. And Teclis, using the Potion of Destroy, that is 44% damage resistance. That is damage resistance, not physical resistance, which means Sarthoriel's magic damage won't help. And there, 75 health. 75 health. But the Dragon Princes are bogged down on these Chaos Warriors, and they are getting just gutted. They're getting absolutely gutted. Teclis is struggling to get out of there. Sarthoriel, as long as he can stay out of the way of Teclis, he can weather this. He can weather this. You know, Teclis will have to sit and fight this stuff. He'll have to sit and fight. He can't keep trying to push through, but look at this. Oh, God. Oh, God. Fireborn coming in. I mean, there's only 3 of them, but that is enough to kill Sarthoriel. Nope, they're having to pull back. They're having to pull back. Sarthoriel also pulling back. Chaos Warrior is splitting up a little bit. It gives more places for Sarthoriel to duck into, depending on what gets bowled over. But this is dangerous. This is very, very precarious for Sarthoriel, who... Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, he's got away. He managed to not get hit there. He managed to not get hit, and once again, Fireball just wrapped up in Chaos Warriors. Sarthoriel was even coming in to finish off the last one. Beautiful hit. Sisters of Avalon, no ammunition left. Even with the huge resistances that Sarthoriel has, it doesn't matter. You know, it wouldn't matter, because he just has such little health. Even if they did have just one volley left, they could kill him. And this is devastating. Oh, why? The Sisters of Avalon are not that valuable. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You could have weathered that. You could have weathered it, man. Oh no, but still, ton of armor left that needs to be fought through. These Dragon Princes, only 2 left, I think. There's only 5. There's 5 left. It's hard to see the number when the healing cap line is in the way. But sadly, yeah, with Sarthoriel dead, their leadership proved too much. And with Teclis on full health, that really helps sway the balance of power. And that is a valiant defeat. But damn, that was valiant. I'm just amazed. I'm just amazed that he threw Sarthoriel at that last unit. I am amazed that he did that. I can't believe he let that happen. But God, these mistakes are easy to make, guys. These mistakes are super easy to make. The only reason that seemed such a wild and insane move is because the rest of this game was so tight. It was so well played. You know, it was just textbook. This was beautiful. Both players were super on top of their micro. The fact these Sisters of Avalon managed to last so damn long, you know, is only when like all the spearmen had just been completely busted through. Most of the, you know, the cavalry had been broken, that a load of the infantry was able to start getting into the Sisters of Avalon. It was unbelievable. I mean, the Shaggoths, God, they had a lot of work to do. you know, with all of that armor-piercing damage and being able to get bogged down by all this cav. But that was a beautiful thing here. You know, Zer0 had Sartorial and 2 Shaggots, so that is 3 different directions he could run in with valuable units that these cavalry had to deal with. They can only go in so many directions, which is why I think Powell could have done a little bit better if he risked Teclis a bit. Teclis has the capacity to heal a lot, so you can throw him at Sartorial every now and then. You know, Sartorial goes one way to go for Sis of Avalon, and the 2 Dragon Ogres go other directions. Get the cavalry on the Dragon Ogres. Hell, just get the Illyrian Reaver Archers to jump on top of Sartorial to pin him in place and distract him a bit, and you can actually have Teclis come in and do some good work. He's got pretty good weapon strength, and Sartorial just doesn't. He just doesn't have the armor to withstand much of it, so he could have got some free hits in there. Even if you took the same amount of damage in kind, you just heal through it, and you're fine. So I think that could have helped Powell out a bit there. If he was a bit more cavalier with Teclis. I mean, that is the thing, though. You always worry with someone like Teclis. He is quite squishy. You don't want him sniped out. That can be really devastating to have Teclis killed early. So you've got to be careful with him. But sometimes in this game, I think you've got to really just sit on the edge of safety. Right? You've got to get the most out of every unit. And I think Teclis could have done more, you know? I mean, they won. I mean, the High Elves won here. Which I think is a testament to this build. Just being, you know, absolutely awesome. Great synergy, just having the huge DPS in the missiles, good melee defense, holding infantry back, and enough cavalry to plug up the gaps of the big monsters, while Teclis was able to net things. You know, it gave a lot of crowd control, and it was able to pin a lot of units in place, and just a lot of solid units for shutting down those scary monsters, especially with Enfeebling Foe, you know, helping them drag them down much quicker. This is a very good build. I mean, so is this one. I think against pretty much any other High Elf build, this would have completely smashed it. So, absolutely amazing. Just great fight between these two. And, yeah, just great. Absolutely amazing. I love this. Guys, if you enjoyed this too, then please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll be sure to see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.